COVID-19 and climate change are the two most critical global issues facing humanity today. But climate change has the potential for a far greater impact, lasting much longer, and will be much more diverse in its devastation. World lockdown measures of the corona pandemic have led to an unintended temporary relief to climate change, creating conditions where much can be learnt and applied. In fact, thanks to COVID-19, we are able to conduct the world's largest experiment regarding air pollution. So, in anticipation of Earth Day's 50th anniversary on the 22nd of April 2020, we take a look at how our planet and its oceans can benefit from the pandemic. We've already learned that it's possible for humanity to sacrifice our comforts for the greater good of society. We know that fake news and misinformation can negatively affect the control and fight against a global threat. We've observed that a rapid response to scientific evidence and expert research and opinion is necessary to mitigate worst-case scenarios, and that delaying, undermining, or downplaying a response can have deadly results. Countries who have been slow to respond to the pandemic have typically seen the worst rates of infection and death. We've seen it takes a massive collective effort and cooperation to effectively respond to a global threat, and that robust political intervention and strong leadership is needed for fundamental change to take place. The seemingly impossible radical changes that the climate crisis has tried to make for decades have now been achieved virtually overnight. And when it comes to the environment, we've learned that when we slow down travel and industry and movement, the Earth starts to regenerate. When a country or region goes into lockdown, fewer fossil fuels are burned. Satellite images of China show that in January and February 2020, nitrogen dioxide levels caused mainly by transport and power plants declined significantly compared to levels at the same time the previous year. An air quality researcher at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center said in a statement that it was the first time they had seen such a dramatic drop-off over such a wide area for a specific event. And scientists have observed similar trends with restrictive COVID-19 quarantine measures. New Delhi, for example, is one of the most polluted cities on Earth. And in April 2020, the air rating on the Air Quality Index landed in the good portion of the scale at 38, instead of its usual rating of around 180. We've seen cities clear of their usual smog, and skylines have become visible for the first time in possibly decades. In April 2020, many residents of Punjab, India, woke up to the unexpected sight of the Himalayas and excitedly posted photographs of the mountain range on social media. A local environmental activist reported that we can see snow-covered mountains clearly from our roofs, and stars are visible at night. I've never seen anything like this in recent times. In fact, India's Ministry of Earth Sciences also found that the visibility in India almost reached the uppermost limits of the visibility meter in early April 2020. Animals are returning to recently deserted urban spaces, like these African penguins who've been spotted in the streets of Simonstown in South Africa. And swans and canal fishes are now being seen in the cleaner, traffic-free canals of Venice. Although it's too short a time frame to adequately observe changes in the ocean, we can begin to imagine that if we continue to push so little pollution into the atmosphere for longer, we might see a reversal of ocean acidification and a slowing of the rate at which we are racing to overheat the planet. COVID-19's time frame is a drop in the ocean compared to the time we need to restore the ocean's health. There are two ways the pandemic can affect the environment once the crisis is over. The first is that it can lead to indiscriminate attempts to boost economic activity at the expense of the planet as industries try to reboot in the aftermath. Or it can be a unique chance to reset our world using the lessons we've learned from the corona crisis. Using the data and lessons learned over the first half of 2020 can benefit projections for a climate revolution. We can also apply the same generosity, resilience, innovation, ingenuity, and resourcefulness to secure a future for our planet. And so this Earth Day, on the 22nd of April 2020, we thank you for all that you've done in responding to the COVID-19 crisis. And we ask you to use this opportunity to help shape a better world for tomorrow.